What is up, guys? I'm bringing you a brand new video, and welcome to my topic of Black Desert Online and pay to win. Those of you guys that are unfamiliar with me, and to ensure you that I'm not a random MMO reviewer on the internet who has an ignorant take, my background in this game is that I have played BDO for 6 years in North America, and I'm currently in the top 10 richest / geared players in the game, so I have a very veteran's perspective of this game. But also, last month I completed a 55-day journey where I took a brand new account with nothing on it, and I got it to the top 6% of all geared players in this game, which is 700 gear score, all in preparation for this video to give you guys a real take on the state of Black Desert in 2023 and how the cash shop has helped or hindered my experience in the game as a new player and how it affects me as a veteran player. Let me first start by saying that BDO has a notorious reputation for being a pay-to-win game, but as it stands, I simply think that it is untrue. And the rest of the tone of this video is going to be explaining why I think things have changed. But before you go running off into the comments, I encourage you guys to watch this whole video because I acknowledge that most rumors are derived from a place of truth at one point or another, and I'm going to explain that things have simply just changed over time. Manos? No way!
I'm done, dude. I'm done.
What the? Yes! Oh, he's trying to kill me! Oh, no! Get it! Freedom!
It's definitely an amazing game, and the action combat is just unprecedented.
Within the last 2 years, Black Desert has improved a lot, and all these old pay-to-win videos are almost entirely outdated that you could watch on YouTube right now. If you don't care about BDO's reputation and history of its pay-to-win and kind of where it came from, then feel free to skip to the next section, but I feel like this section is important to tell you guys the direction the game is going in terms of its monetization. That'll hopefully make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable with the direction Pluribus is taking the game. So in the past, BDO had a very bad reputation for being pay-to-win. It was seen as a very incredibly prohibitive game for a new player who doesn't want to spend money. So 3 years ago, I actually think that this reputation was completely justified, but now it is just simply wrong. As a new player in the past, you were constantly faced with 6 main issues that essentially forced you to pay money to enjoy this game. And they ended up fixing all of these issues. The first one is silver. When you collect silver in the game, which is the primary currency from killing monsters, it had a weight, and you have a limited number of weight in your character, which basically forced you to buy additional weight unless you wanted to stop grinding every 3 minutes. It was really insane, and now silver has no weight at all. Second, pets are required to pick up loot automatically in this game, and the game made zero effort back then to really give you any for free. You used to get maybe 1, and you can have up to 5, and they can be leveled up in tiers. So you were expected to spend easily $100 to get decent pets. Third, your inventory management was also really bad at grind spots because items did not stack in convenient little boxes, causing you to run out of inventory space, which would cost another $60. Fourth, maids, which allows you to move items from storages remotely, were super scarcely given out. They used to give you 1 for playing for like 10,000 hours, and that was about it. And they have a 20-minute cooldown, and they sell them for $12 each. Fifth, the contribution points to invest in the auto collection of resources through the worker system used to matter a lot, and you felt inclined to purchase more storage slots in towns because you needed your CP for those workers instead of being able to invest it into more storage spaces in the towns. And it was $45 per town for max slots. And finally, the tagging system used to not exist, and if you wanted to try a new class, you felt inclined to pay $100 for weapon exchange coupons, and all of these issues were deliberately placed to make you spend money. If you add it all up to have a good new player experience, you were expected to spend at least $300 to get past all these inconvenient things, and now they have fixed a lot of those problems. I personally attribute a lot of these bad practices to BDO's old publisher Cacao Games. Pluribus was a small company when BDO first released in 2016, and they sought the help of a publisher to publish in North America and Europe. And as of 2021, that contract is over, and since then, we've seen incredible steps taken to revert all that damage that was done to the game. And I'm hoping that this video is going to remove the last bit of that damage, which is the old player perspective, you probably have friends that have told you about the pay-to-win of BDO, but that 2-year-old opinion is ancient news at this point. Pearl has addressed every single one of these issues mentioned and created a great new player experience. Silver has no weight anymore, making it way easier to manage your inventory. They've also lowered a lot of the weight of items that drop at grind spots, making weight effectively not required. On my new account, I purchased no weight, and I was not bothered at all, going all the way to 700 gear score. Pets are now given to you quite abundantly. Within the first days of playing, you obtain 8 pets just by doing the season questline up to Medaya and claiming login rewards. Inventory management is not an issue. Green grade items drop in stackable boxes now. Maids are frequently given through attendance and codes and logging in regularly, and a few quests and the season pass. And on my 700 gear score account that was 55 days old, I have 27 maids. Like, they give them out quite frequently. And as for the contribution points and worker system, like, that's not as relevant anymore, so therefore you can invest your contribution in buying actual storage through your efforts in the game rather than spending money, which is amazing. And with the new Magnus storage being accessible from everywhere, which they added in October, it makes storage space super trivial because you can use storage from all over instead of just one area. And as for rerolling, coupons like that are no longer required for the $100 because you can duplicate your gear for a small silver fee, which is earned in-game, and it takes a couple hours of effort to try a new class, removing that $100 cost completely. So they've fixed all of those primary 6 reasons that the game was so prohibitive in the past. So after all these improvements, where are we at with pay-to-win and BDO? My 700 gear score account that I leveled up from practically nothing in 55 days cost me a total of $60 as a new player with plenty of pearls left over, and I honestly did not feel hindered by additional pay-to-win at all. I think that if you want all the luxuries that this game has to offer in its cash shop, $60 will get you every permanent luxury, plus it'll cover you for 6 months of value pack, which is essentially kind of like the game subscription fee, which after the 6 month is over may cost you between $10 and $15 per month if you want to continue to get the most convenient optimal gameplay as a low spending player. If you wanted to not pay to win at all though, I do have a video that gives tips and tricks on playing fully free, and I will link that in the description. But I will say that $60 gets you the 3 most important things in Black Desert, which is the remote campsite, the Nap Heart campsite, which lets you buy potions and repair remotely, Celestial Horse Whistle, where you can call your horse from anywhere, and then number 3 is having a value pack active at all times. But they do give you enough value pack benefit for the first 3 months without having to worry about it as a brand new player, and through the Magnus and stuff like that. But it is kind of a hassle not being able to get around the additional marketplace tax of not having it, which is why it seems pretty essential to me. Also, as a new player, for the first 2 months, they offer you a 2-for-1 pearl pack, and that is $60, which gets you $120 worth of pearls. There's also a 50% discount coupon after day 19 of logging in as a new player that you can use on probably what would be your biggest purchase, which is the Nap Heart campsite. So if you do end up liking BDO upon starting the game, it is kind of recommended that within the first couple of months you decide to spend that $60 if you can see it as a game that's going to be a long-term game for you. So to go from feeling hindered by almost everything anywhere you step in the game and spending at least $300 to get you started in the game, down to playing the game for free is a real option, and to get all the conveniences of essentially my 6-year account, I felt very, very well taken care of with $60 on my brand new account, is quite a huge leap in a great direction for the game. Now I can hear you saying, Choice, what about credit card whales? Won't they be at a huge advantage and just kill you in this open world PvP game? And the answer is, pay to win in BDO is exceptionally prohibitive to the point where very few players actually do it, and your chances of running into a player that is paid to win is insanely low. Not only that, but there is no gear that you can't obtain as a free-to-play player, making it far more common that if you're getting your butt kicked in PvP, it's from somebody who actually played the game and earned their gear, than it is running into a pay-to-win player. 999 out of 1,000 times, if you are weaker than another player, it's because they've played more than you, not because they have spent more than you. That is how insignificant the pay to win is in Black Desert. I legitimately don't even think about it, and I think the majority of players don't think about pay to win at all. But if people do pay to win, it actually benefits you as a free-to-play player, and everybody that I know that plays BDO loves when people pay to win. Because the standard way that people pay to win is by selling costumes on the market. These costumes can be exchanged for cronstones, and that protects your gear from downgrading when you're enhancing at a significant price decrease compared to alternative ways to get these cronstones. So whales will buy a costume off the Pearl Shop, they'll sell it to you for silver, and then you use those crowns to protect your upgrades. It's a win-win. And pay-to-win players are also limited to selling 35 costumes per week, but this number is actually as low as 5 per week if you have not played the game enough to get your family fame higher. Using data from BDO's Marketplace API, we can actually tell how many people pay to win on a week-to-week basis. Using data from this last week, which this last week is BDO's 7th year anniversary for North America, it is probably the best sales you'll ever see on costumes. So there is a high influx of sales right now on the marketplace, and there were roughly 11,000 costume sales. If we make the assumption that the source of these costumes are from the whales that max out their 35 sale limit, that means 300 people paid to win this week in BDO. Out of such a large population game, 300 is a drop in the bucket, and that is why it is so uncommon to run into pay-to-win players. Now, obviously, this is an incorrect assumption because it's unlikely that everybody maxes their sale limits, so it's more likely that, maybe a few thousand players have sold some costumes, but very few people actually sell 35 per week, and 11,000 costumes is a super small amount for such a populated game. And by the way, North America is the region with the most costume sales of any region, and it's not even close. It is by far the biggest whale region, and it's still only 11,000 costumes. The next closest region is EU, who sold 12K costumes in a 2-week time period during the 7th anniversary. Due to the sheer prohibitiveness of pay-to-win in this game, most people that play BDO spend the $60 to get set up with the common conveniences like the tent, horse flute, and value packs, and running into swiping players is so incredibly rare that it simply just doesn't even matter. BDO is not some mobile game where you spend a few $100s and become so incredibly strong compared to a non-spender. That just doesn't exist. This is an extreme example, but I think it's going to get the point across very well. I have played BDO on my main account as a low spender. I practically do not spend money on this game anymore. If Elon Musk started playing BDO right now, and instead of buying Twitter, he spent $44 billion swiping in Black Desert Online, I would beat him in PvP 999 times out of 1,000. Because your individual skill level in this game in PvP is so much more important than how much money you have spent on the game. With the initial effort to get your gear in this game, a 700 gear score player can kill a 730 gear score whale if they are the more skilled player. Even if you don't want to get gear in Black Desert and you don't want to grind and earn your gear, which is the way that most people get geared in this game, 75% of node wars, which are, group activity, group PvP, is capped, and 66% of all sieges, 2 out of 3 sieges, are gear capped. And Arena of Solaire, which is the ranked PvP game mode, is 100% gear capped, where your money and your pay to win and your effort you put in the game really holds no value. So in summary, old predatory monetization of this game gave it a really bad reputation, and within the last 2 years, Prolibus has done a really good job in righting these wrongs. The game has plenty of ways to pay for conveniences. There's certainly no lack of options in the cash shop, but these things will not prohibit you from reaching endgame incredibly quickly if you simply just put time into the game. So I appreciate you guys very much for watching. I hope that this has provided you with some great insight on the state of BDO. And if you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe. We're only a couple of hundred people away from 20,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.